I didn't really want to make this video, but I think it will help many of you guys, so I think it's very important that this video is made. And basically what happened is I'm going to post this Splinter Talk story online, but basically there was a member of our community called Mad Runner who basically lost $50,000 worth of cards. It was stolen by the username HiveWallet94, and you guys can read the post in more details, but just to make this very short and sweet, there's many different hypotheses and theories. So whether the person got in through a third-party wallet, which like MetaMask or Wax, or whether the person got in to the person's computer and got in through the email and then just used malware and used the computer manually and then stole the $55,000. Once again, read through more, but you can basically see how there were two other members, Sysim and Liberty Game 27, and they were all, some of their stuff was all sent to this Liberty Game 27, so they also got scammed. So basically there are some basic tips on how to secure your account. So the first one is never store your passwords on the same device on which you use the passwords. So if you use your computer or your phone, basically log in the first time with your Hive signer just to prove that you own the keys, but then save it on a USB stick, and then also additionally probably on a piece of paper, and then throw that in your safe, and that's where you keep your keys, and you just keep them very, very safe like that. So if somebody ever did get into your computer, there's no file with your passwords locked in, or like I used to have it on a, what's it called, like a little notepad on my computer. Don't do that. That's pretty bad in case they ever get into your computer, especially when your account's worth a couple $1,000s. The next thing is don't send your passwords by email or channels like Discord. So it's even if it's to people that you trust. I will say I think you can maybe send like posting keys, but never send an active key or anything above, especially not your master's keys. Never give your master key out to anyone, because then they can change all of your keys. So yeah, unless it's like a posting key, just to send it to a person so that they can play your account. Don't send an active key and above to anyone. The second one's quite obvious, but I still think people need to understand. It's just don't click on links that come from accounts that you don't know. So a lot of people send very scammy. It actually is more prominent in the Axie community, where random bots will add you from the community. But recently, more and more bots have been adding me from the Splinterlands community, and then they're like, "Hey, you won whatever, a card or SPSS or DEC. Please give us da 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 da." Never give that. Nobody gives anything to anybody. So yeah, basically same thing. There's lots of like fishers that basically go around and they'll pretend to be members of the team, and they'll basically be like, "Oh, we're running a test, send this account or log in here," or they'll do like lots of little dodgy things. None of the team members or community members will basically ever message you and say log in here. It will always be through official updates. Like Aggroed will never message you and say, "Hey, log in here." Don't believe any of that. The other thing you should always do is, if it's I'll show you guys later, but if it's like an official member in the Discord party, or you're looking for a trusted middleman, is if you have an email, always use two-factor authentication to access your email, and use two different devices for the second stages of authentication. Like remember guys, some accounts have $10,000 plus, even $1,000 plus, even if it's $100. Just protect yourself. Install and use a good antivirus or anti-malware software for your computer or device. Yeah, that's a given as well. And then when performing financial transactions, make sure the network you are connected to is secure. So yeah, basically, maybe it's not a good idea to use public and open networks. So, yeah, basically I use public networks, to be honest. Like I use it at my university and sometimes work, but it's not always the best. Maybe it's better to just play Splinterlands and crypto games at home when you know it's safe and secure. And then now it goes into a little bit more details, but now it's just about securing your Splinterlands account. So the first thing is, on your account, in your settings options, always require active authority for transferring your assets out of your account. So if you were to do this, it basically means that you need to have your active key, and then you can just use your Hive Signer or whatever extension you prefer to use, and you then show, oh, I have my active account. Because if this is not selected, then people can do it with just your password. That's already enough, and that's not okay, because password's easy to guess or easy to hack compared to your active key. The other thing is, if you're playing this game on your account, it's a good idea to lock your cards. So even if you rent them out, or as long as you don't plan on selling the cards anytime soon or transferring them out of your account, it's a good idea to just lock them. And you can lock them for 1 day and then as many as 30 days, and you can just basically lock and secure them. I know a lot of Mavericks and big whales do that. So when they have their big champion deck that they're always going to play, they just lock all of those cards to make sure that they're never going anywhere. And then like trading cards or things that they think they're going to flip relatively soon, those stay in a different account, or even then they might even just lock it for 1 day. So yeah, those are the two things that this thing, I'm going to put, once again, I'm going to post the whole talk online, just so that way you can see. But I think what I'm going to do next is just go to the Discord and talk about some of the Discord problems I've been seeing a lot, like this. The two most popular places that people go to trade is that they go to the trader chat and then the buy and sell. And what we've had recently is, I'm going to say, a bit of a problem, and I don't like it, but there's been a ton of scammers. There's been a ton of people coming in and scamming, and there's different techniques that they're using. But basically, you can see here that pretty much, I'm going to say daily, there's a person that's like, oh, I got scammed, and they posted it in the feedback. So in this case, yeah, see, there's this guy bragging that he scammed $320. Another guy stole $40, and like I didn't even like scroll up to find these. How did I scam you? Yeah, basically, as you can see, the P2P or the feedback channel is a bit of a mess right now. And I'm just going to let you guys know something, like, if somebody logs into an account and you're trading with them and they're like, oh, go look at my feedback in P2P sales, and if they've got only feedback that's from a week old, then just, that's a bad idea, guys. Just don't do it. It's like, that's obvious, right? Like, you should never ever trust somebody that's got feedback that's only a week old, or only one person's like, that's one of the, like, the most basic things. So a lot of people are like, oh, trust me, I've got feedback, and then they just get, either they create multiple accounts or they just get their scammer buddies and they're like, hey, give me good feedback and give me a fake review. Another typical like strategy that they use is that they'll do a trade with a trustable trader. So they'll do one trade with Clove, or they'll do a trade with like a Maverick. There's some other people, like, and I know another one would be like Mr. Monopoly. A lot of people like him. So they'll do one good trade, and then they'll have that person that has the colored account be like, oh, I did a good trade with them. So that way you look into it and it's like, oh, this person's got a good trade. And yeah, that's not like, sorry. So that's just one thing. So if a trade or the feedback is only, let's say, a week old, if it's like 3 months old, then I'd say, yes, you can trust them. Then I would be like, cool. Then it's a little bit more trustworthy. Obviously, if it's like hundreds and thousands of dollars, then don't do it. Find a middleman. And when it comes to finding middlemen and who to trust, I would say I always just go for my guild leaders, who are super, super old Mavericks. They've been in this game since the beginning of like alpha, basically. But if you don't have that luxury, I've had aggro well, I've asked aggro to be a middleman for me at one stage, and it wasn't even for like a very expensive card. It was for like $75. Like I ask team members all the time. I understand that the growth of this game is a bit insane right now, so a lot of people don't want to. A lot of the team members just don't have time to be middlemen. But I would still say there are very credible people. I wouldn't say trust every Monster Maverick, every purple name I wouldn't trust, but there's definitely a whole bunch that are super old and that basically want this game to succeed and they want to help new players. I'm happy to be a middleman if people trust me enough, but basically find a middleman. If you're not comfortable with the trade, trust your gut. Obviously the first prize is you go first. If they don't want to go first and they're like, oh, look at my fucking history, and their history's only a week old and it's only 2 to 3 people, or even if they've got like a trade with a purple person, like, honestly, that's not enough for me. I would be like, nah, I want a middleman. And if they still don't want a middleman, then just tell them to fuck off. Understand that it's basically 2 or 3 guys that operate as a collective and they work together to scam multiple people. So that's not cool. What you guys can do is, I got one of my friends to help me, is you can go into my Discord channel, and if you're doing a trade with somebody, so let's say you're doing a trade with the farm. So what you do is you go here and then you go overview of the farm. So let's say the farm messaged you going, hey, I would love to do a trade with you. I'm happy to sell DEC. I've got, let's say I've got 10,000. I say, oh, I'm selling 10,000 DEC. You just go, hey dude, what's your account? You go into this platform, you go into the Splinter info, you type hashtag overview the farm, and what it does is it should generate the entire account. Oh, sorry, dollar sign. So what it does, this is a really cool platform that my co-guild member created, my co-captain, in fact. Really cool. So you go overview the farm. So like, yeah, let's say this account was pretending to sell a card, right? Let's say the farm was trying to sell a card, and what you do is you just type this in, and you can go, oh, I can see that from your collection, this account doesn't actually have any cards. So I don't know why the fuck you're posting card photos, like it's clearly a scam, because there isn't even a single card in this account. But if this account was saying, oh, I've got $51 worth of DEC that I'm selling for I'm selling 9,000 DEC for $50, and it's in the account the farm, you just message go, oh, what account's it in? You can then quickly just check and go, okay, cool, he does have the 9,000 DEC he said he does, but if this account was trying to sell you SPSS or cards or land, you can already be like, oh, it's not in there. And this account works for like you can't hide from this because it basically just uses the API and takes everything from the blockchain. So like if we scroll up to the oh, there's the Killing Queen, or let's say we looked at the Mountain. This guy's got $800 worth of cards. He's got $24 worth of DEC and $41 worth of SPSS staked. So you can at least have a little bit more clarity in how you trade. So if you want to use this tool, it's completely free and available. Just join the Discord and enjoy it. If you don't want to join my private one, you can join the Team Possible Discord, but I'm not going to post that link because I don't want to bring too many people into it. But yeah, please be safe when you trade, guys. Like, rather don't be impatient. You can always just buy off the market. Save yourself that 5% isn't worth losing it all. Yeah, I'm really upset that I'm constantly seeing like scams and people getting scammed every day. So I'm trying to help find different ways to make sure that you guys are protected. So please like and subscribe and let me know in the comments what you want me to do next. And if you're a new player, please use the promo code and I'll happily send you the 0.5 US dollars back to you. It just lets me know that people are watching and using the promo, and I'm helping new players join the community. Also, if you find me on the Discord, just pop me a message. I'll happily delegate any of the new players some power.